Hi everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with Rubber Stamp Tapestry, and for today's project, I am going to use their peg stamp set called SPookytown. They have had this for a while, and it's got some great images to add some Halloween accents, and that's kind of exactly what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to create mini background papers and create a shaker card. Now remember, all of their stamps, the pegs, have a registry line so that will tell you which way it's going to stamp on your piece of paper. So I'm going to grab my, it's like I get them at the dollar store, it's just like a drawing pad, so that when I go off my paper it doesn't go onto my mat. So the first up is the ghost, and I'm using my VersaFine black ink because I'm going to use my clear embossing powder to go over these images. So I'm just stamping these all over, mixing it up, and again, just creating that background. Now, yes, I just realized that my triangle plate there was buried. Yeah. So I'm going to do each of these first before I heat set them. So next up is the skull. I love the skull. I think it is absolutely adorable. And I'm just going to stamp this all over as I did before. So what I'm stamping on is my Bristol cardstock. Yeah. Wow. Let's try that again. What I am stamping on is my Bristol cardstock. I do like the Canson XL cardstock, whether the smooth or the vellum. You can get either or. I usually end up getting the vellum because I don't read the package. I'm just saying. The next panel are the bats and the spiders. I'm not a spider person. I'm really not. But to stamp, we're okay. So I'm just going to fill that piece of cardstock up as well. Now these are small panels because again, I knew what I was going to do with the shaker, there were going to be small areas as well. Now, once I get this one coated with my clear embossing powder, I will then heat set all of these. I will be adding color to the background of these. And if you hear that noise in the background, that's my cat. You know the phrase, curiosity kills the cat? Yeah. My cat is very curious over something right now, and he is now going to be determined to get in there. So forgive the noise that you may or may not hear right now. So again, heat setting these. Now the ghosts have a bigger area for the background where the other images that I'm using just have an outline, but it's just enough to give that image that we're looking for. I'm going to be using my Distress Oxides and my Nuvo sponges. So the first color I'm going to use is my Carved Pumpkin. So the three colors, of course, are going to be the Halloween colors that came in the set. The Carved Pumpkin, Twisted Citron, and Wilted Violet. I'm not looking to do any type of variegating or have it light to dark. I just want that color in the background because the card itself, as you see, is going to be black, black cardstock. So that's really going to make these colors pop. I just love that Twisted Citron color. Yes. I do like the traditional colors for Halloween, the purple, the lime green, and the bright orange. So these three colors are just absolutely perfect. And while I wasn't going for a variegated look in the color, the purple absolutely gave me that. I'm going to bring in my dry cloth just to wipe away the ink off of on top of the embossed areas. So here's my panel. I've cut this down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I've set my rectangles. These are stitch rectangles in a wonky fashion. Don't want them straight on. Just want them to be set on this in different angles, if that makes sense. And then what I'll do now is I'll grab my acetate, and first I'm going to use my liquid glue to put glue around each of the squares. and then I'll bring my acetate to go on top of that. And I'm just putting a little bit of glue in the areas so that it doesn't flop, because my acetate will flop. So I'm just going to make sure I press that down and make sure it didn't get to the front. I'm going to also use my Desiree double-sided foam strips. I figured because some of these areas are really thin between these two, or between the three rectangles. So I'm going to be using a combination of these strips around the areas, and then also my double-sided foam tape, because that will just fill up an area quicker than anything else. There's a method to my madness. And I'm also going to try something new today, and I realize I made an error, so I always like to say my errors. I'm going to be using the Arteza Chunky Glitter. I love these colors, but you'll see I made a boo-boo. So I'm using the dies themselves to cut out my panels, just so I know that they're a little bit bigger than the area that's going to be open. So these are going to be the backdrop of each of my shaker panels. So I'm going to gently pull away all of the release paper, and of course I've got tons. Yeah, I go crazy when it comes to my double-sided foam tape when I do shakers. It's kind of funny. Yeah. So once this is all removed, I'm going to be adding my glitter. Now, one of the things that I didn't realize, again, I love these colors, and there's 4 different colors that they have. This here is just the iridescent, and I thought it was perfect. This glitter is great because of all the different sizes and everything else. What this glitter does have, though, that I should have thought of, I've seen others use like their anti-static tool to, you know, swoosh that around the sides so that the sequins don't stick and everything else. I should have used this. I don't know if it will work, and I say that for a reason, and you'll see that in a future video. There is a lot of static within this chunky glitter. I need to find a way how to get rid of that. Anybody have any ideas? Please put them down below. I'd love to learn. Because it really sticks to the acetate. So I've really gotta, I'm being a little forceful to bang this card down to see if I can get that glitter to come down off of the acetate so that I can see these awesome panels that we made. And it does settle after a while, but it does take a while. Of course, after I put this onto my standard A2 size card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it is now a side folding, I did forget to put my sentiment on. So I grabbed a sentiment from another stamp set that I have from my stash, and it just simply says, Happy Halloween. I'm using my Recollections Snow embossing powder, and I'm just going to heat set that. So the card, and of course with all the lights that we use when we're taping and everything else, it's just really making that chunky glitter shine, which is absolutely gorgeous. Just got to find another way to use that. So on the fence with it, but it does come in some beautiful, beautiful colors. So I do hope you enjoyed today's project, minus the oops with the glitter sticking to the acetate. But I do hope you enjoyed it. Again, all of the products that I used will be linked down below so that you can click on if you want to get more information on them. Any questions or comments, and please, if anybody knows how to get static out of the glitter, let me know. Leave those down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed today's project as always. If you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe. Make sure you ring the bell so you know the next video. Hit the thumbs up, and if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for being here. Hope everyone's having a great day, but always remember what's most important. Always be creative.